this is going to be a bit of a strange one. I'm going to tell you one system that you should definitely not do, then I'm going to give you another system. But first, so CrossFit Garage, there are 3 questions we ask when people are looking to get started. And you can see that on our website. Go there, CrossFitGarage.com, and then click on Get Started. Answer the 3 questions. We find that diving down deeper into the niche of who we can help is better than trying to help everyone, which we can't help. I talked to a guy on the phone the other day, and he said, I'm really looking for a gym to help me get to the games. And that is not our gym. CrossFit Games are like CrossFit Bound with Brandon Phillips. He actually went to the games. And what used to be called CrossFit Passion with Travis Mayer over in Alpharetta, he actually went to the games. So if you want to go to the games, go to one of those gyms. They have the owners actually went to the games. We are not that. We are happy, humble, helpful people who want to be healthy and fit now, as well as in our 90s. So you can check out those questions. Next, if you're watching this on YouTube, cool. I'm also, well, the big part is thank you, Jamie Thomas. I am making these all a podcast, so you might be listening to this. So you can go here. I will link it, and you can get us on pretty much any podcast service. I don't think we're on Google or Android yet. It takes a couple weeks to get there. Okay, so probably what you all really wanted to see is how to lose weight fast. So I'm going to give you the thing that you shouldn't do. The first is how to lose 10 pounds in a day. So I am telling you now, do not do this. It is not safe. You could die. You can't even Google this and find, like, nobody wants to put this out there. So I am telling you, do not do this. This is what wrestlers did. This is what I did. So it's historical data, me telling you what I did and my teammates and everybody else, and you should not do this. But you could definitely lose 10 pounds in one day. So I had somebody come to the gym one time and say, hey, I'm trying to lose weight for a wedding. I'm like, great, how much are you looking to lose? She said 10 pounds. I said, okay, how much time do we have? And she said 3 weeks. I said, well, that's going to be very tough. And we talked about it a bit, and I told her, so I could obviously, or I could tell you how to lose 10 pounds in one day, but it'll probably kill you. Thinking she would say, yeah, I'm not interested. And she said, yes, please tell me. So I'm going to say it and tell you how stupid this is and then tell you the right way. Okay, so it's all water weight. You're doing nothing except dehydrating yourself, which is why it's so dangerous. Do not do this. So what we would do is we would poke our heads and arms through a trash bag to get ourselves, airtight, plastic tight, whatever. We would turn on the shower stall showers in the gym bathroom so that you would get a massive steam going. We would grab our jump ropes and we would jump rope in the shower while the steam is going in the trash bag. You would also dip so you could spit, and you would dip and spit. The other thing you would do is an enema, so you would get everything out of you possibly could. I suppose that enema actually is maybe adding some water back to you, but it would expel everything. And also could be disastrous if you timed it poorly. But we would do that. I did not do all of these together. Our coach did not. He was against this completely, but kids still did it. And incredibly stupid. But I've seen kids lose weight. I even saw this one kid who wasn't making weight. He had to lose, oh man, I think it was a quarter of a pound. And he was on this meat slab scale, which means you couldn't lean the weight off. So on a normal balance scale that you find at the doctor, you can actually find the corner or the edge where the scale would lose traction, and you could basically lean off a few pounds, sometimes 1 to 2 pounds. And it was it was the 103 had to get on the scale and find it so he could pass it back to everybody else, and he would like get off and say, I tried top left, nothing. The other guy would try top right, nothing. So they would find where the scale's lean was so that we could tell the other weight classes so that they could lean off a pound or two. Anyway, yeah, it was really stupid, but we did a lot of dumb things. I might be an inch or two taller had I never done this. So yeah, so you can lose 10 pounds in one day. Don't do it. It's really dumb. I really would. I mean, if you asked me to coach you through this, I would say no. This is really dumb, but it is possible. It's all water weight, and as soon as you drink a glass of water, you will weigh 10 pounds heavier. So the way you should do it, how to lose 10 pounds in a month. Now, if it's not a leap year and you pick February, maybe this doesn't work, but it is possible. I don't know if it's sustainable, and you definitely wouldn't. The procedure is sustainable, but I don't think the 10 pounds in a month is it would drop off because obviously you have less to lose. So the heavier percentage you are than your ideal, this is a little bit more sustainable. So if you're my height, what am I, 5'8", and I weigh 300 pounds, yeah, I could probably lose 10 pounds a month and continue this until a certain amount, in which case it would drop off. So percentage is probably better, but it's really the goals behind this. So 10 pounds, I don't know if it's really 10 pounds, but it depends on your starting point. And these things are smarter. This is what I would do. I would tell everybody, I will tell you if you're listening, your goal is to lose 1 pound a month and sustain that over 12 months and then 24 months and then 36 months. So at the end of 3 years, you're like, yeah, I'm down 36 pounds. And that's going to be awesome and sustainable. This method I'm going to give you is, yeah, possibly sustainable. It takes a lot of willpower. I would just not do too many things that are hard. Let's see, Jeff Hayden from Motivation Myth pulled this together, and he said it much better than I said it. So I just typed out pretty much what he said. I'm going to give you my experience with it, and then we're going to get into the programming. So commit to the process, not to the goal. And that's exactly what I just said. So the goal is, hey, 10 pounds. No, not really. You want to commit to the process. If you do these things, it's going to work. And really all of this stuff is, there is some math. Calories in have to be below calories out. If it's not, this math doesn't work. Now you can sort of adjust that math. Like I don't eat bread and sugar and it's been, I don't know, 8-ish years. And so the math doesn't quite work out, but there are still some truths in there that I can't get around. So if I try to eat 6 steaks, yes, I will probably start gaining weight. But those that have gone to eat with me, I eat a lot, and it doesn't really affect me. But I think I've taken the hard approach of no sugar, no grains, and that really changes some of the math. That's, from what I've been finding out, pretty impossible for most people. I don't know. For me, weirdly, it was not that hard. So anyway, here we go. 1, commit to the process, not the goal. Yes, I think that's self-explanatory. There you go. 2, embrace the power of I don't versus I can't. So weirdly, they said you're 33% more likely, no, I think it's 50% more likely to achieve your goals if you simply change the word from I can't eat bread, or I can't walk blindfolded. I don't know. I can't enter whatever it is you don't want to do. And instead say, I don't eat sugar. So now you become a person of character that doesn't eat sugar. I don't eat sugar. And so it's an internal motivation versus I can't. The doctor told me I can't do it, right? So weirdly, that word matters. And they've done a study. If you just change your goals, anytime you use can't, say don't, it will increase your ability to meet your goals. Now, another way to increase the ability to meet your goals is to actually write your goals down. Weirdly, it's something like you're 80% more likely to achieve your goals if you write them down versus the people who don't. Of course, the pool of people not writing their goals down is massive. So in statistics, it's just going to pan out if you write them down. Those people are a bit more dedicated versus the billions of people who don't ever write any of their goals down. Okay, next one. Start with a fast day. I know that sounds weird. Why would I fast? It's actually kind of interesting. If you start this process by, okay, I'm going to take 24 hours and not eat anything. Now you could drink stuff like water, but don't, like, beer wouldn't count. That's not really fasting. That's like, beer has food value. So, don't do beer. But if you start with a fast, it's going to clean out your stomach, and it actually, while you may be hungry right then, just stay very busy. It will help reduce your stomach and purge you of some of the things that are inside of you. The next thing is exercise the first thing you do. So what I do is I put my clothes, this sort of happened because I just didn't want to wake my wife up. She likes to sleep in, and I just like to wake up. I guess I hit that age where being at 6 o'clock, I must get up. So I take my workout gear and I put it right next to the bed. So I roll out of bed, I trip on it, I pick it all up, and I walk outside and get changed over in the kitchen so she can have a nice, really dark and quiet environment. But because I'm grabbing my workout clothes, I know the first thing I'm going to do is go work out. If I don't work out in the morning, I have a really hard time working out. So if you, like I've got kids that play, well, sometimes they play soccer. And when they're not in soccer, we all go to the gym at 4 o'clock. I find it really difficult to go to the gym at 4 o'clock. And it's my gym. And I just have a hard time not doing it in the morning. Plus, I feel much better during the morning. So weirdly, most people find working out in the morning is the best way to do it. So try that. You might be that person. Most people are. Okay, the next one is eat 4 or 5 almonds 15 minutes before you eat. Yes, I know. What? 4 or 5? That's weirdly specific. Yep, it is. And the reason that you would do this, it doesn't specifically matter if they're almonds, but almonds, if you go do the research on that, you're going to find that they're good for you in many ways. And it's going to give you a fat satiation, which is going to be good for you. But your stomach and your mind are disconnected by about 15 minutes. So if you eat a little bit of something, you're going to curb some of that hunger, so you actually won't be as hungry when you get actually to eating wherever you're going to go, or if you're pulling out your meals. So if you know you eat at 12 o'clock for lunch, then at 11:45 eat a couple almonds. Next, and you guys should be doing this anyway, but drink a glass of water before every meal. How big is the glass? You know what? It doesn't matter. If you're not drinking a glass of water before your meal, then just grab any glass and drink it. That's better than 0 glasses. Sometimes people get really stuck on the specific measurement, like, oh, it must be a glass that is 1 liter full. But it doesn't matter. And then, well, what type of water is it? You know what? Water is better than no water. So if you're drinking tap water, great, it's water. Yeah, I know there's fluoride and other stuff in it, whatever. It's better than no water. Your body knows what to do with those chemicals. If you can get better water, great. More power to you. But water's water. Drink a glass of water before you eat, and it will help satiate and fill some of your stomach space. Always stop eating before you're full, right? Take a break. Chew a little bit more. Let your mind catch up to where your stomach is. Many times we will, and you can see, it's actually kind of fun. If you look around the restaurant or watch people, they will lean into their food and their elbows stay locked to their table, and they lean in and just sort of chow, 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 chow. And it's kind of funny to watch, maybe bad table manners, I don't know. But sit tall, have good posture, use your knife and fork, be slow. Stop before you think you should stop, and then take the rest home, or just order less, right? You will actually be fuller than you think you are. Don't eat anything white. You're like, wait, what does that mean? So it's really saying don't eat grains, don't eat starches. If it's got that white color, then it's probably bad for you. I do like mayonnaise, but mayonnaise has a lot of soy in it, so I usually don't eat mayonnaise. But it's a weird one. It's just kind of an easy. If it's white, don't eat it. You're thinking, what about eggs? Egg whites? That's okay. You can totally eat egg whites, especially if you mix them up. Now they're yellowish, so they're not really white. The important part there is most everything bread related is whitish. So if you stay away from that, you'll be good. Chips, white. Sugar, white, right? So if you don't eat things that are white, so they tell you eat the rainbow. That's way better than eating things that are white. So don't eat that. Make sure every meal is healthy. How do you do that? That's basically around meal prep. So if you don't meal prep, yeah, it's a little bit harder. You're gonna have to look at the menu. But meal prepping is great. I will typically make stuff and then divide it into, we have Tupperware that's actually glass. What do you call that? Glassware? I don't know. Whatever. And then it's already in the portion size that I like. So I will put it on the refrigerator, and it's just leftovers from whatever meal we had. So I'm also not particular on what I eat. I could actually, when Verity went to England for a bit, I think it was about a month in the summer when we were in college, I lived on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. When she came back, she said, oh my word, you are like gonna die. Who are you? You look like you're emaciated. So yeah, so probably eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for a month is a bad idea, but I'm not very particular, so I can have spaghetti the night before, of course, no noodles, and then the next day at lunch, eat leftover spaghetti. I just don't care. So yeah, that's a little helpful, but if you meal prep, then you know what's inside your food. The less ingredients, the better. Toss in a snack. Plan ahead. I think I've told you guys this for a very long time. I like those Justin peanut butter pouches. And yeah, it's true. I work out with them in my pocket so that they get warm, so they are easier to eat. And some of you guys say that's gross, but whatever. Warm peanut butter is much better than hard peanut butter that's not mixed together very well. So I have in my car a bag of beef jerky. It's the ones you can get at Costco that are, it's organic and it's in the blue bag. I can't think of the name of it, but it's blue and black bag. But I've got those in the car. And so if I get weirdly hungry, I can just grab some. I have a big jug of cashews in my car. So if I'm hungry, boom, I can eat that. I've got little pouches of peanut butter. Well, actually, it's not peanut butter, it's almond butter, but I like peanut butter too. And if I need it, I will eat that. If I go on where did we go a long time ago? We went to Tullis with Evie's class, and they served us. It was very nice of the school. They served us Chick-fil-A. They had them come out and cater. but that's a big sodium bomb and a bunch of stuff I don't eat. So I knew that was coming, and I knew lunch would be kind of hard to do. So I brought some beef jerky and peanut butter packs and a bottle of water. And so that was my lunch until I could go find something better. So you don't, if you plan, toss in a snack, plan ahead, then you won't be caught unawares. If you get super hungry, like, hey, I just started CrossFit, I'm really, really hungry all the time. Great, plan on that. Grab some of these things. It doesn't have to be super hard. You get beef jerky in many different flavors. Of course, it's for me, it's kind of hard to do beef jerky because I always put some sort of sugar in it. So if you can, if you're wearing a watch or a device that allows you to track your movement, then something that you could do is burn an extra 500 calories a day. How do you do that? Well, I mean, if you're doing CrossFit, it's really easy. When you're done with the workout, just grab a jump rope or jump on the rower or something and just add some effort, some movement into it. If you don't have any of that, just do some more steps. Next is if you're going to cheat, be smart about it. I don't do cheating because if I'm not all in, I fall out quick. So I have to be all in. So maybe that's good because it forces me, but it's bad because it's kind of unfun. They call me the food fun killer because hey, you guys want ice cream? No, I'm just whatever. I walk away. But if you're going to cheat, something you could do is like take darker chocolate and then take a little square of it or a couple chocolate chips, put them in your mouth and let them sit there and then dissolve. Don't chew and swallow. Let it just sort of like bake on your tongue and get the satiation that you need rather than cramming it all down and swallowing it super fast. Be very, very slow, and that will help your cheating. While I'm not a big fan of the scale, many people need motivation, and sometimes it's the only motivation. So if you're doing something like CrossFit, you're going to gain muscle, so the scale's not great. You'd rather do a body mass index, buy a little machine that you can get from, well, you can buy it on Amazon, or you can go super fancy and do like a dunk tank. But yeah, watch, track, see what you're doing. If you do this stuff, you will see changes throughout the day. Now, the tricky part here is you do need to weigh all the time. At the exact same time. So if you weigh yourself at 6 a.m. when you wake up, you are definitely going to be lighter than you were right after dinner. I mean, that's just obvious. So most people lose 1 to 2 pounds while they sleep. It's sort of cheating, but I guess if you want to count that, as long as you do it at the exact same time. This is just the idea that what is tracked and measured gets attention, right? So if you're tracking and measuring, you're going to give it attention. If you're giving it attention, it's going to see success. The other one man, this is probably the best thing you can do, and most people don't do it because they just hate it and they don't want to see it, is keep a food journal and an exercise journal, and be honest. So, man, that is the hardest part. I find in many places, people are like, yeah, I don't eat sweets and chocolate, and then you find that they're hiding food around their bedroom in a sock drawer or whatever, and you have to be honest with yourself. If you are sneaking food, really doesn't work. So keep a food journal, write down exactly what you're eating. You may not see it. This is the other tricky part. Keep that food journal and then hand it to somebody else for them to look at. Specifically, it would be good like a coach, like Coach Laura does nutrition. It'd be great. Hey, Laura, check this out. Can I hire you for an hour to read this? Sure. And have her go through it with you. Barring that, just have a friend look at it, and they're probably going to say, oh, yeah, look, a bag of Doritos, that's probably not good. Oh, really? A bag of Doritos isn't good? I think you would probably know that, but sometimes when you're inside your own deal, you can't see it. You have to be outside to have the 20/20 vision, right? Exercise journal is good because it helps you really see what are you really doing. I think it would be easy to say, I went to the gym and did CrossFit, and maybe jot down a note on what actually it was that you did, or I jogged for 15 minutes. Great. And then write a little bit of note about it. Like, hey, it wasn't that bad. It was kind of easy. I could probably do 16 minutes. Something like that to give you a little heads up. If you don't know what you're feeling, then you're only thinking you know. So write it down. So anyway, these are steps that you can do to lose weight over time. And this is this habit-based nutrition. These are habits that you would do. Coach Laura would obviously help you with these things. You can just Google it on the internet and say, hey, or call me or text me or whatever. This stuff isn't hard by the kinds of things you do. It's just the degree of attention that you give it. So this works. Okay, let me pause this and then I'm going to get into the programming. I think this time I'm going to talk to you guys more in the metabolic pathways. So CrossFit is really big into this. You've got your two non-oxidative or anaerobic cycles, phosphagen and glycolytic. You'll see it, well, if you're listening to this, you can't see it. You can go to CrossFit or just Google metabolic pathways CrossFit, and then you'll see this graph. But essentially, it's a graph. On the x-axis, it's your time, and then on the y-axis, it is your energy axis. And phosphagen in this case is the blue line, and it spikes super quick, lasts for about 30 seconds, and then tapers way off to the bottom. Then you've got your glycolytic cycle, which is a red line. It's going to spike around the 60-second mark, and then it is going to taper way back down. So both of these are the fight or flight, non-oxidative, the anaerobic. Basically, I can hold my breath and do it. So you can think, well, how long can you hold your breath? So 2 minutes is about it. Then you really need to start breathing. If you look at again, if you're watching, you can totally see it. The green line is oxidative. That is, I basically burn oxygen to make this work. So I don't need to eat anything. I don't need caffeine. I don't need any of this stuff. I don't need itchy powder. You just need to breathe. So that would be like jogging, right? I just need to breathe. And you're going to see it ramp up slowly over time. So at about the 2-minute-ish mark, you're starting to breathe kind of heavy, and then you can kind of stabilize for as long as you want it. It's probably going to taper down over time. This guy only goes for just over 2 minutes. The important part there is there are 3 cycles, and CrossFit wants to train all 3. The sweet spot of CrossFit is the 12-minute mark, and they like to do some starts and stops, and we're going to get into sort of the why and what the aim of the workout is. So when you scale and modify, you should be scaling and modify to hit the idea or intent of the workout. On Monday the 13th, we are back to the shoulder press, and it is 3 sets of 3. So you're building towards eventually a 1-rep max. Coaches will take you through that. The press is a very depressing lift in terms of the actual weight, so this won't take everyone all that long. And then we'll move into an EMOM. It's 12 minutes of, and for the first minute, you'll do some dumbbell presses, which of course we just did press, yay, or it's push press. And then the second minute, we'll do wall walks. Wall walks are deceptive. You may think, oh yeah, it's totally easy, just go up the wall. CrossFit Games uses it a lot, so we will make sure that we're teaching you how to do it. But it's like the bear crawl. If you guys did that the other week, then your arms, when you were done, you're like, what is wrong with my arms? Yeah, so your shoulders are just getting banged up right with that. The shoulder is a very unique joint. It's super mobile, not very supportive, can be hurt very easy. So you just always want to protect that. So just be careful when you're doing wall walks. Listen to your body. Make sure you're doing it correctly. The coach will help you there. The idea on this one for 12 minutes and you're rotating is I can burst. So it's several of the glycogen phosphagen cycles, right? Boom, boom, boom. I go back and forth. Nothing in here is shouldn't wear me out in my lungs. The only thing that will make you do that is as you get towards minute 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? Then you're going to start to feel my breath. But the other stuff, it's, 2 wall walks. I can do that. You could probably hold your breath and do 1, right? So it's to help that cycle, like, Tabata, to 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. It's just a great way to train those pathways. So you can see down here, you're scoring. Well, if you're watching this, you can see it. If you can't, then you can get up to 108 if you did everything as prescribed. There's also an RX Plus option. So the substitution in scaling is basically the weight on the dumbbell push press, and then the number of wall walks. So RX Plus does 3, regular does 2. You may say, I can't even do 2. Well, that's fine, do 1. Take your time, really stretch out. In the in-between moments, be stretching, have active rest. On Tuesday, we have Randy, a named workout. It is one of my favorites, actually. It is 75 power snatches at 75 pounds for guys, 55 pounds for girls. And it's a hero workout, and it is super fast and is meant to be done that way. There is also Randy Altered, so if you are not proficient in snatches, you don't have, if 75 pounds is heavy, then we tell you to do 55% of your 1-rep max. This should be a light snatch. So something that you could probably do 10 in a row and not really even feel it. You might even do more than that, right? A proper snatch is with a little, I would power it, so do a little bit of a dip so that you can save your shoulders, and you just drive straight through this workout. So this is, we're looking at that, those 3 cycles, phosphagen and glycolytic, the anaerobic, this is where this guy resides. You're going to move through this really quick. Subbing and scaling is, again, that altered. That way you have something specifically listed for you. After that, you're well warmed up. We've done that. We moved into deadlifts. It is a 3x3, building on that the deadlifts we've been doing before. You're going to get pretty heavy up there, and you're going to take the rest of the class to do this. The reason I put this at the end is the actual weight you do isn't all that important. What is important is that you're lifting something heavy. Also, the deadlift is one of those lifts that are so massive in the range of what people will do in the gym that it is really hard to hold a class to the time scale in the beginning. So if I said, hey, you have 20 minutes to do this, some of you guys that lift like 500 pounds are going to be like, yeah, I can't even get close in 20 minutes. Well, great. We're going to put it at the end. Now you're already warmed up and you can take as much time as you want. If you're brand new and I'm going to tell you, don't lift as heavy as you can, let's work on form, and I just want you to lift for about 15, 20 minutes, then great. You don't have to do a super heavy 3x3. You can do, which is what I will probably do, 3 sets of 10, right? So my goals are different. I do not care for a 1 rep max anymore. I will probably feel really good because when I do the workout first, everything is nice and loose. I'll also be monitoring my back tremendously because the deadlift is my nemesis. So are sit-ups and push-ups. Well, and pistol. Yeah, I got a lot of them. Okay, so on Wednesday the 15th, there's a workout where we are doing another 12 minutes of 12 calories on the bike, or 10 for girls, and then 12 wall balls. We had just done Karen, so you should know what your limits are on the wall ball. This one is going to be fast enough in the exchange that you probably can do everything unbroken, and you'll do some active rest on the bike. So you'll be pushing it, but not maybe tremendously, because the bike, as long as you're going, even if it's slow, you're still moving through the workout. So you'll be catching your breath there. What I'm going to tell you, though, is the open is coming. So do not try to kill this workout. I would start tapering down and use the wall ball to help push you into that deeper squat. Use the calories on the bike to make everything move. But I will not be rushing it because Friday, the open is here, and want to make sure I'm nice and good for that. So nothing on our hands. We're not on the bar. We're not swinging, tearing, or anything like that. Weightlifting, something we don't do that often, is bench press. It is built up to a heavy set of 1x10, and the reason why it's 10 is I don't want you to lift very heavy. So doing that many reps, you're going to have to keep it down because the open is coming. So we want to explore this movement. We're going to be doing more of this over time, but this is your intro into it, and it's a high rep count so that you do not do anything too crazy before the open. It is also after the workout because you'll be really warmed up, and the point of it really isn't to build up a massive bench press so your pecs poke way out or whatever. The idea is, hey, let's get back to this movement and start moving in there with the idea the open is coming, right? So be smart there. Thursday is really just a move, get in here and feel good day. There is nothing that's crazy. The reason we're going to make this easy, and we should do this every Thursday, is one day last year or 2 years ago, we actually programmed on Thursday what actually ended up being programmed in the open on Friday. So yeah, we did almost the same workout back to back, and that is no bueno. You do not want to do that. So there's no way they're going to program this. We're going to do a 12-minute EMOM, suitcase holds, and you get to pick the weight, and then some hollow hangs from the rig. So that's good. Everything's just going to be mobilized. And then we'll have a workout where it's 60 minutes of, you're going to jog for 200 meters. So again, knowing what's coming on the next day, you're just jogging. Then we've got 12 kettlebell, sumo deadlift, high pulls. That is probably not going to be in the open. I've never seen it. And then some side plank holds. That has never been in the open either. Again, a whole lot of just getting you moving and being ready for whatever they're going to throw at us on Friday the 17th. Again, on that one, try to skip, I hope, maybe, the morning classes, and then everyone come to 6 p.m. So there'll only be one evening class at 6 p.m., and we're going to have everyone do it in fun, extravagant coolness. Like, we're going to blow the horns and, actually, we're not going to do that. We'll turn the music up and have judges and all that stuff. It'll be fun. So try to come to the 6 o'clock. Bring your family. Let them see what you do. We're not going to have them do it, but they can cheer you on. Remember, if kids come, there's a red line on the mat. Make sure they stay behind the red line. The reason for that is safety. Kids don't know we're dropping weights, and we don't know when we're dropping weights that kids are running through the gym. So kids are not allowed to run through the gym. They stay behind the red line. It is safety. All right, guys, that is it. See you soon.